We're just talking about the pressure compensated pump that's coming off of the Allison transmission. That is set at 1750 to 1800 psi. That pump provides hydraulic flow for this manifold. This is a standard manifold with individual cartridges. We've got on this side, we've got the water pump, we've got additive, we've got the vibrator, we've got fines feeder, oil valve, and then our extra circuit here is if a customer wants to add their own fiber feeder. We have a circuit designed for that that automatically runs when the conveyor's on. One of the really nice things about these cartridges is they have manual overrides. So if I wanted to run this independently, I can twist and operate it, and regardless of an electrical signal, I can operate this and make sure that it's functioning. So those are handy if we have an electrical issue. So we've lost, the coil's failed, wire's broken. I can still operate these functions independently and be able to hopefully finish my job, get back to the shop and do the appropriate repairs on that. So having these allow that independence. There are lighted DIN connectors on the back side of these. So if I'm sending electrical signal to them with the clear DIN connector, I can see it. You can, diagnose whether we've got a problem on the supply side or the coil. We can get there mechanically and operate them, so I know hydraulically it's working. I've got a red signal on here, so I know I've got electrical signal to it, so more than likely my coil might have failed. The name of the game is identify the problem as quickly as possible and get the machine back in operation. This is designed with those features. Now this manifold, I've got a flow meter for water. We set the water at 110 psi and 130 gallons a minute. So the pump on the other side, which we'll get to in a minute, is a bent axis high-speed pump motor that allows us to run the water pump to get that high water flow and high water pressure. It exceeds what is needed most of the time. It gives us what we need so that we're never going to starve the system for water. It's a huge issue if we run out of water or we lack for water pressure on the really challenging days we're out laying heavy loaded material on a hot surface. We're having to spray all the tire sprinklers and the front spray bar sprinkler. The demand can be high. This is designed to be able to give that, and we can make the adjustments by loosening the nut and increasing or decreasing the Allen adjustment here, and read it up here on the screen that we're getting our 110 psi. The next circuit is my additive. We can dial this in. We do factory preset it. The additive, the vibrator, and the fines feeder, once these are set, rarely would you ever need to make an issue. Even on the water pump, once it's set, usually the factory setting is sufficient for that. On the vibrator is, we set it to the harmonics. So we dial that in so that we can get the proper aggressive vibration through the vibrator beam to prevent bridging of the aggregates. Moving farther back, this is a pressure reducing valve. We take the cap plug off the top of this, and there's an Allen adjustment down on the inside. This limits the pressure for the oil valve circuit to 500 psi. We don't want any more than that. That gives us plenty of power to open and close this valve when it's adjusted and it's properly warm. If it's not warm and they try to open it, it can stress the hydraulic plumbing. That's why we reduce that to 500 psi. This circuit is set at 280 psi, but it's adjustable up, so we can increase this as need be. It's set low. It was originally designed for the clutch. So if we're doing a international machine where we have a hydraulic clutch, because we're using a true jack shaft circuit versus electronic synchronization, that's where that would come into play. But it is adjustable, and it's just understand what the pressures are so we can make that change if need be in the field. On the front, we have two circuits. This is the sequence circuit. This is designed, this manifold has been universal for either side engine or not. This is what's called a sequence or air bleed. That allows oil to dump when the engine is being cranked, but once the diesel engine starts and I get a certain pressure differential, it'll close and now allow the system to start. On a PTO driven system, it really just doesn't really come into play because we have all the power. We don't have to worry about trying to start a cold diesel engine, but that's where this would be. And if I had an issue with a diesel engine starting that was challenging, I can take this plug off here and adjust that on the inside to create a greater pressure differential, so it takes a little bit more time for it to close. It makes it easier for starting cold engines. This one here is the relief valve. This is set a minimum of 300 psi above the pressure comp setting of the pump that's down off the PTO. We want that just as a system protection in case something bad happens. This will eclipse that pressure spike and protect the system. But hopefully this has a very easy life and never works. It just sits there. We only want to operate in the event of a serious issue. This is the manifold circuit in a whole. We'll get to the PVG valve in just a few minutes.